What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mike here with PeoplesChoiceGaming, and today I have an updated breakdown for Loki. Now, I've done many Loki videos in the past. I've already done complete guides for him many months ago, since he's been out in the game, and this is just going to be an updated guide for him by subscribers' request, subscribers' choice. This is going to be a Loki solo guide, Loki Invisible Solo guide, and basically, it's pretty similar to my old Invisibility, melee guides, except we're not going to be focusing on the melee, even though obviously you can get some real nasty melee hits in while invisible, considering how much damage you can do. But what a lot of people don't consider is just how good Loki is of a solo player because of his invisibility, and that's what I'm basically showing in this quick gameplay here. And then I'm going to show you how to mod him for a corrupted build, for a strict invisibility solo build, and I'll show you a few changes if you want to run him more invisibility / support for when running with the team as well. Alright, we'll get to the guide here in a second. Alright guys, let's go ahead and go over modding your Loki. On this build we have no Forma. If you can afford Forma and you really like using them, by all means buff them up even more if you want with maybe one Forma. But since I have a lot of videos, where I'll put a lot of Forma on weapons, I wanted to show one without Forma for new people. I get a lot of requests for people that can't afford Forma or they're new and whatnot, and you can get a full build without it, so I'm going to do no Forma on this one. Now basically, I've done his builds in the past. This is very similar. It's an invisibility build, and in the past I focused on a melee build because he's amazing to go invisible, take your Galantine and do the most ridiculous 40-50,000 K crits. It's a lot of fun, but like I said, he doesn't just have to be used for a melee build. He is one of the squishiest Warframes up until you're invisible, and then just like using Trinity's ulti, you're pretty much, well, no, you are, invulnerable unless you go stand in fire or poison or I don't know, something like that. So basically you want this to last as long as you can and make it very cheap. So efficiency, streamline, and flow for energy. Continuity in the V polarity and constitution, making this last a long time. Now to just make it ridiculously long, because remember, this just ain't a melee build, even though you can use melee during being invisible. I'm focusing on soloing with Loki, so you really need it to last a long time, as long as possible. So you put narrow-minded in the sideways D polarity. Now, I keep mine 3 from the top because any more is too much power range loss. But that's mainly for other Warframes, or if maybe if I was using radial disarm and whatnot. If you have another narrow-minded, definitely take this narrow-minded up all the way to the top, because that's going to be the best. That's going to be a maxed out duration for your invisibility. Redirection, for some defense, and energy siphon, you have to have that also for soloing, and you just got to make sure you have all this right here. This is all very important. Now, if you're going to go run with some buddies, you can definitely throw on the decoy. Decoy is actually alright now because it got buffed and has a lot more health. So, and you can basically get enemies to attract to it, take them all out with one big Galantine swing, so it's great for melee builds, or you can take them out with a few pentashots, or even one pentashot and kill 6-7 enemies. So decoy can be really fun to combo up. Radial disarm, you don't need that for soloing, because you literally only want to stay invisible and you don't want to waste energy on this. Only using your invisibility. So this is going to be to help out your team if they need that support. Otherwise, you don't use that. Don't need to throw any health in, because like I said, you pretty much just stay invisible. And once you're really far in like a nice little solo survival run, if you get to the point where you can't have enough energy, you don't have enough energy to cast invisibility, then it's over pretty much after that, because you'll get one-shotted when they're high level enemies you're going up against. You can also get some stretch on there and radial disarm if you want to be more team support. And if you're doing survival and you're doing the solo thing, then go ahead and put on a full rush. Because honestly, in survival, even though Loki's a pretty decent speed, you're really gonna need, that rush to get to the oxygen fast enough. But that's just all gonna depend on what you're doing. But you gotta make sure you got all this right here, and don't forget, take Narrow-Minded all the way to the top if you have another one. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Make sure to check out my Twitch, links in the description, and please follow. And definitely try using Loki, guys, because, Rhino gets kind of boring always running him for solo missions or Trinity. And honestly, Loki can be better than all of them. He can have, a super long invisibility where literally nobody can touch him. And then you just run through shooting with the regular weapon. It's a lot of fun. I've done everything with Loki recently, and I've been able to go 20-30 minutes literally in a survival with a Loki by myself, which is pretty crazy. So it's just another way to use them instead of just for a melee build. Alright, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.